Okay. The 1611 King James Version of the Bible is medieval, antique, and valid. And I'm about to go over to the Lutheran cult and explain this to them. Medieval, antique, invalid. Medieval, antique, invalid. The entire Bible itself is medieval, antique, invalid in print in English. The entire Bible itself is medieval, antique, invalid from what I'm going to go over and explain, because you have it like this. It's the entire thing is medieval, antique, and valid because you have it like this. Got questions? Call. The entire Bible is medieval, antique, and valid like this also, and because they're different. And so, it being medieval, antique, and valid, it's all like this. This is the 1611. This is a real one. This is unlike, you can't read it. You took God and Moses speaking face to face. You can't read the whole book. That you missed all of it. Without those two verses, it's the only way to make this thing work. This is a medieval, antique, and valid at, oh, you have to read it for God. and it being a medieval, antique, and valid that you didn't read it for God. You didn't read it for God. God and Moses speaking face to face passed you over, meaning that you never understood the Bible. One word of it. One word of it. God and Moses speaking face to face passed you over. Cult on the internet. God and you're in a medieval, antique, and valid cult on the internet. God and Moses spoke face to face. Cult on the internet. Dead Sea Scrolls fragment 4Q77 explained it. God and Moses spoke face to face. Yeshua the Messiah ben Yosef moved and transported the Dead Sea Scrolls out of the second temple. God and Moses spoke face to face. You have the King James Version of the Bible, still get rid of it. God and Moses spoke face to face. You can't read it, and the earth is still at 6,000. What in the fuck? God and Moses spoke face to face. You're a cult on the internet in the year 2020. You're a medieval antique. You're a medieval antique cult on the internet in the year 2020. Mentally ill. You needing help. God and Moses spoke face to face. The earth's never been 6,000 years. You've always had this book wrong. It's kind of heavy. So, always having the 1611 rule in English, the told on itself. So I'm preparing to go over to church, and this afternoon I'll actually go through the Dead Sea Scrolls. There are over 200,000 pieces of Apocrypha, and all of them counted. And the Bible itself is in English apocryphatic, and the New English Bible is 75 bucks, I think. The New English Bible are 80, I don't remember. They're all apocryphatic, so the Zohar and Aramaic won't do any good for you, but I got it all in English, and that's just prophecy and me personally. Ben David explaining to you that you're mentally ill and in a cult, following a false messiah, heredity and prenatal culture. You're mentally ill following a cult. The entire antique history of heredity and prenatal culture. Pictures from my missions trip when I obtained we're gonna have to do something about this book. There's never been 6,000 years of age. That's where I picked it up at. And in Russia, I've always known that the earth has never been 6,000 years of age. So 1537, they were just growing up out of it. And you had 80 books in the Matthew's Bible, then the Geneva Bible, English apocryphatic in the year 2020, was from 1602, a medieval invalid of the 66 book entirety. The Gideon Bibles, they're all medieval invalids in English. So the Catholic pastoral with with the long length of days that kind of worked for the Lord Kelvin to get it wrong at the age of the earth through the Grand Canyon, but kind of worked. But there's kind of worked. Lord Kelvin getting it wrong for the United States on the age of the Grand Canyon. Not too sure why you didn't know about that. Idiots, 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 idiots. There's never been 6,000 years of age, you morons. It's Never been. So there's some Dead Sea Scrolls, 1946 years. Never been 6,000 years, you morons. Hey, one of the orange ones for stupids. I got a lot of those. Right there, one of the red letter legends with Jimmy Swaggart. 4004 BC. Red letter legend, an antique and valid red letter legend that Jimmy Swaggart contributed to with the exact same thing again, except making it worse and taking out all the good pictures and missing out on 1890. Oh, you've been in hell ever since before 1890. You never had a book. 1890, you couldn't read and track the King James Version of the Bible and make sure it was valid, and it wasn't. And so in 1890, it wasn't valid, and it was so 1859 still not valid. It's an antique invalid. You're a cult on the internet, an antique invalid cult on the internet. You can't read a book, and you're reading an antique invalid, and that's Zohar. It's not antique. It's not invalid. But Rabbi Berg, you're fired. It's because of this one. Rabbi Berg, you fucking moron. Here's 3760, you fucking idiots. Let me grab the picture of the idiot. Hag leader from the Expositorsville can't get a word correct in the King James Version of the Bible. They can't get anything correct to even take God out of this story and don't recognize that God's the only sentence in the book that worked from 1611. 1611, the only two sentences that worked in the King James Version of the Bible are Deuteronomy 34:10 and Exodus 33:11. Cult on the internet, the only two, and those two verses alone. Cult on the internet, gotquestions.org, turn off that, is because Yeshua the Messiah ben Yosef wrote and had control of the authorship of the entire 1611 Bible. Who gives a shit? And Titus, he delivered the first 50 handwritten copies. What do you think that man was doing, you morons? What are you guys? Yeah, just always want. He never once upon a time ever preached a sermon. He gave Titus 50 copies of the 4 Gospels, and they were 24 by 36. Can't do much with that. Yeah, I can't do much for you guys because we're working with 80 books at the beginning of time. And you got every word in the Bible wrong after that. For 1666, you're wrong at. And every word in the Bible you're wrong at. It's a medieval invalid got questions.cult. It's a medieval invalid got questions.cult. Immoral, ignorant, stupids at 6,000 your earth. Stupidville got questions.immoral, ignorant, stupidville. Can't even read the King James Version of the Bible. Stupidville got questions at 6,000 your earth. Get rid of your King James Version of the Bible. You're too dumb for it now. Got questions. Idiots. You're fucking immoral retards now. Having the King James Version of the Bible still. You're a fucking idiot at 6,000 your earth, moron, with Jesus on the cross following a legend. You fucking immoral retard. Immoral retard. The good questions. Idiotville. Immoral retard. The good questions. Idiotville. Immoral retard. Follow apostle legend of Jesus. Immoral retard. The God. Idiotville. Stupidville. Idioville. 6,000 year old stupids.